chicka bow wow. Ew. Ew. Let's see here. Sorry, I am trying to get chat to work, and chat is not pulling up on the OBS side of things. How is everyone doing? Let me make sure audio is working. Oh god, I sound like dog do. I apologize, everyone. Hopefully everyone's doing good. Well, shoot. Wait. Oh, well, I'm just stupid. I could have done this the whole time. The only problem with this, though, is you guys see it. But, like, maybe that's not a bad thing, though. It's like, maybe for me, I set it, like, right up here. Ooh. So, like, right here. Is that too distracting? I don't know. This is weird. We're going to try some things out, though, this stream. But for a majority of things here, we've got an interesting live discussion tonight, I think, at least. So with everything going on with the MonsterArts this month, which kind of makes it sound like there's a bunch of drama, which there isn't. I don't have 54 yet, but the movie graphic 54 seems to be landing pretty damn positively into collectors' hands in Japan and over here in the US. Mine has not shipped yet due to the holiday in Japan. So it's Golden Week. I believe that ended today or yesterday. So actually, maybe I'll start a ticket tonight with Hobby Genki, and we'll get loaded in on that. Is this? It's public. Is this showing up on the on here? Yeah, it's there. Well, I didn't advertise the stream, so that's my fault. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing good. I'm pretty excited. Yes, it's, oh shit, and this isn't the window. See, this is why I didn't like doing it this way, because I have to go through all of my windows, but so be it. It's been a while since we've streamed on the PC. I actually got a notification this time. Hey, there we go. How you doing, Matt? How you doing tonight, buddy? Dreadforce, how's it going? James, how's it going? How's it going, everyone? I guess this works. I didn't get too into anything, so we've kind of just been setting up. It looks like OBS had an update here, and just trying to get everything worked out. So I have to do something a little different with the chat. You guys can see it. This is the YouTube window for it. Regrettably, this is just how it's going to be for right now. OBS is not displaying, isn't actually displaying my chat, so I have to have the YouTube window up. So I'll just leave it like this. I think this actually looks way better. It just sucks because I will have to, you know, really look at the chat here. Crying because all my shows are about to finish. So much good content in this past month. Yeah, all the streaming shows have been insane. Mall's over. The Boys is about to be over. Monarch is over. For now at least, until they pick up, whether it's through, you know, spin-offs or sequel seasons like Mall. Mall has a season 2. Monarch, it sounds like season 3 isn't confirmed yet. But the Shaw Vietnam 1961, 1962, I think, or 71, 72, something like that. The Vietnam spinoff with Shaw, with young Shaw, is supposed to happen, so very excited. I just got the sharpest pain shot through my back. No, that is not good. My girlfriend actually has, the reason I've been kind of quiet and not quiet at the same time, Larissa pinched something in her back or injured something, or um, it really affected her. So she hasn't been able to do anything or bend over. So I've been taking care of her, and that most of the things everything she can't do that she has to bend for or lift, I do. And then all the things she doesn't, or she doesn't need to do that, she's been doing normally. So today she's been recovering quite a bit. I'm pretty proud of her. So, and by pretty proud, I mean really proud. Yeah, I just got the Ghidorah 72. It's huge. Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks, Dred. Is the movie graphic 2014 worth it? I don't know. It doesn't release until May 30th in Japan. So we have 3 weeks before G14 releases. But this stream was I was thinking about this the other day. I was sitting down. I was like thinking about QC. I was watching a review for one of the Haya 2014 Godzillas, and I saw, I think it was on here. It wasn't like a YouTube video, or maybe it was a YouTube video on Instagram or Facebook. But I saw someone comparing the original 2014 and the Haya 2014's head sculpts and stuff, and I was like, well, damn. Actually, now that I'm being reminded, 2014 and 04 have had release issues in the MonsterArts line, specifically with face paint and sculpt, and now both of those figures are being released at the same exact time. And it I've been pretty positive. You guys will see it once I say what video finally is ready to be. It's not ready to be released, but it is filmed. It is ready to be edited to be released soon. I'm actually really positive. I've been on a really positive MonsterArts train. They haven't let me down yet. Since last July or August, whenever I got Final Wars Goji. That's the last time I was really disappointed with MonsterArts. So it's almost been a full year. And now two of the most cursed Godzilla sculpts are getting released again, updated, but also at the same time. And I'm really hopeful. I'm a little scared, but I am really hopeful that Tamashii's going to actually kill it this time, and they're going to be able to turn it around, and they're going to be like, hey, okay, we fucked up really bad in the past. So here's a 2014 that's painted way better. I think this quote unquote nighttime colors. We'll figure out what scene this 2014 is based off of. I think when it's released is when Tamashii reveals what scene it is. I recently found out that the Movie Graphic Plus line, so the color schemes for the figures aren't based on the movie posters on the box or any of the movie posters if they have multiple like Shin. It's based off of a very specific scene in the movie. So it comes with a movie poster, but then the figure itself is based off a specific scene. So obviously Shin Awakening is one of the awakening scenes. 89, I don't know which scene. Obviously it's the darker colors. I think it's probably going to be like 2014, where this is probably going to be a nighttime decisive battle-esque version. So that's kind of how it was explained on the Articulation series the other night during the 54 movie graphic quadruple unboxing, is that the paint jobs are actually from scenes in the movie, so they're not based on the posters, which is why 89 doesn't have green paint all over it, which made sense to me because I figured that would be a better decisive battle release whenever Biollante gets a decisive battle version, because I think it's kind of clear that Biollante is probably going to get a third and final release, and then she'll be done. So she'll be perma-shelved if she's not already permanently shelved. She might be, with the batteries and stuff, it might be too much for her now in the current market of things with action figure production. Hey honey, welcome. Hi. Hey baby. Boy. But I don't know. I'm curious to see what other people think, if there's other people that kind of reached that same conclusion with these two releases, like, oh yeah, these two are like kind of two of the more cursed releases, and Tamashi's kind of being a little ballsy and risky and dropping them at the same time. I don't. It took me until this month of them, coming out. We also did get the release. Well, okay, we got the release date for 2014. 2014 drops May 30th. Godzilla and Go Tango, the Final War set, is supposed to be shipping supposedly anywhere from the 23rd to the 29th is when I'll start shipping to Japanese collectors. So there's no holidays in Japan, at least between here and there. So if it releases like on the 26th, 27th, hopefully I'll have the Final Wars set by the 5th or 6th. Well, honestly, yeah, so I'll probably get the Final Wars set the week after 2014 drops, and then 2014 will probably be like here because I already got the paid options fixed and stuff, so we don't have to worry about that. That's why I don't have the that's why we don't have the movie graphic 1954 in hand yet, is because I didn't submit a ticket early enough to get the duties paid in time, and now there's a whole kerfuffle about the order, so it might be like another week or two, they said, until I get my order, just because some between holiday and some of those technical things. So yes, wait, which one is cursed and why? So when 2014 was initially released, the eyes and teeth paint were infamously bad. Infamously, Godzilla 2014 is the original figure that started the heavy MonsterArts hate. Was this 2014? The original 2014. This is where a lot of the hate for MonsterArts, it stems from this figure first. This was the big breaking point. Yeah, because of shit like that. Yeah, this made people mad, and that's understandable. It kind of at this point, the line had been out for almost 3 years, and almost every single Godzilla release was struggling with the eye paint, and then this one was the first one where the teeth paint was really bad and the articulation was disappointing. It can't look up. The arms can barely move. It was kind of tight. The tail couldn't hold its weight or hold a pose, so the tail would just flop. So you can curve it out and it can do the big swing poses like this one, but it can't actually hold the weight, so then this part would just fall down. So that's kind of one of the curious things with this new one that we're kind of waiting on is are the joints going to be fine, or are they going to be dog do? So for 2014 specifically, I am admittingly pretty nervous and hopeful at the same time. I personally hope Shma starts making more Monster Hunter figures. I showed off but there hasn't been any news. Yeah, they both companies went quiet on their Monster Hunter lines, so I think hopefully for the collectors that like the Monster Hunter stuff, that means that Monster Hunter themselves, the company, the owning company, whoever owns it, is like, hey, let's take a pause for a second. Maybe is there an anniversary or maybe a new game? Well, no, Wilds just came out, so I don't know. Maybe they're holding all their eggs, and then kind of like May the 4th, where every brand brings out some Star Wars stuff. Maybe there will be a date like that for the Monster Hunter stuff, and Tamashii will finally hopefully reveal something new for that line, and Haya will solicitate their Monster Hunter figure, because that thing looked incredible. So I'm not a Monster Hunter fan. I've never played the games. I'm more than likely never going to. They're the style of single player game that's just a little too grindy. They're RPG. You have to play the whole game to actually be able to play the game, I've been told by some people. The story mode is basically the tutorial, and then once you're out and you're just free roam, that's when the game really begins. I just can't do that. If it's like that, which I don't know for sure because I haven't tried. That's just what I've been told by people. Which isn't a bad thing at all, of course. Hopefully Bandai can come up with more stuff. Yeah, that line is interesting because they do one new mold typically once every 2 years, and sometimes that line's lucky to get two molds. Otherwise, it's basically been the first two figures re-released like 2 or 3 times over. So, I mean, so admittingly, by hoping that they release more, that's one less release spot for a Godzilla or a Gamera release for me. I don't collect Monster Hunter. I won't start collecting it, probably at least. And same thing with the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. I want their Red Eyes, and then anything relating to Red Eyes. And if they do Dark Magician Girl, I'll probably buy her too. But besides that, like, that's really it for me with the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. I'm not going to be going for a 100%. Because if I did, I would have to buy 3 Blue Eyes. I believe the older releases are already, like, Red Eyes and Blue Eyes are starting to get up there a little bit. So, like, and then, like I said, I would have to have 3 Blue Eyes. So, yeah. It's too much. The Godzilla and Gamera line by itself is already a lot of budget to focus on, and then you start adding the S.H. Figuarts Ultraman and the Dragon Ball line in there, and things start to crack budget-wise. So, yeah. So, but I do hope that they do release more, because that means less Godzilla releases in a year, which, although means less in a year, that might mean that we might have months where we literally just, like, don't have a Godzilla or a Gamera release. That's a month that I can either catch up with Ultraman and Dragon Ball, because I'll probably have to do that. There's probably going to be months where, kind of like this month, I had to skip Vegeta Nexus. I actually just ordered Vegeta today because I had a discount code from Nin, or not a discount, a voucher for my points. It basically made it to where I only paid shipping, and shipping was like $40. So, or $30. It was only like $28, $33, something like that. So I do have the Dangerous Pride Vegeta on the way. So, pretty excited. I'm trying the Nin duties paid shipping option to see how long it takes. So, because it's like a couple thousand less typically. So if it's cheaper overall, I would rather do that than DHL. You know, because DHL is really freaking expensive. I'm gonna get caught. I'm gonna get caught up here on chat, guys. I apologize. I don't mean to go on my rants. Which one's cursed? We got there. Monster Hunter. Interesting, yeah, James. And then we'll get into Final Wars too, because Final Wars has some Infinity as well. Especially just even if generally all the re-releases and the original release was fine, even my original release of Final Wars was fine, my re-release that I got last year was a big pain in the ass initially. So, like, even if it's not community-wise infamous, it's still a little infamous for me, because if Matt's still here, he can tell you, I've talked about it many times, if that Final Wars set gets here and I have another bad QC Final Wars Godzilla, I'm actually going to flip. That will be a very angry stream. I don't want to fix 2 Final Wars figures. This is the 4th run of that mold. Like, they really do need to get their shit together. So, in 2014, there's only been 3. Well, this is the 4th run for 2014 too. But the Spitfire was really well with its eyes and its teeth paint, and the poster version was fine as well. So, is getting expansion. Oh, okay. Is it getting expansion revealed? So that's maybe what it is. Sam Art. That's probably what it is. Monster Hunter. Yeah. Okay. MHA. Yeah. Or MHA, is that Monster Hunter, or is that for My Hero Academia? Because, yeah, the anime stuff. So something that's kind of weird, Tamashii only did like a half reveal this month. So they kind of did half before, I'll look this up so it's easier to see. So right before Golden Week, they kind of did like a small run, right, of pre-orders, some of these. And then they had like a pretty big reissue drop starting with Frieza, yeah, from here, or maybe even here somewhere. Ace is still, holy shit, kind of surprised. Whoa. Oh, that's a used one. I was going to say, I don't remember this getting announced, because I would have pre-ordered this. I really like the first design Kamen Rider, and then you're going to give him like a black and red paint job? Sure. Yeah, there he is. Holy shit, he's gotten expensive already. But yeah, so like from here, this is all like dropped after Golden Week, but as you can see, it's basically only anime stuff, and then the Avengers, and then some more Kamen Rider stuff, and then more anime and game stuff. We're still missing Ultraman stuff. We're still missing. There is at least one solicitation for MonsterArts that is expected this month. I'm expecting it to be the Movie Graphic Plus, both of them, the Kiryu and GMK, but it was hinted at it could be Ava Unit 1 as well. So Ava Unit 1 is not completely off the table. So yet. But yeah. Oh shit. I mean to do the fuck. See, I hate yeah. This is frustrating me. But yeah, so we're still missing. Hey Alex. Sorry it took so long to say hi to you. I've seen your chat in here at least, so hey Alex, how you doing, buddy? Your review on the Shin was what actually convinced me to get him. I'm really happy with it. Yeah, I've actually my review has played a continuing part, just a part in helping a few people that I know actually get the new Shin. So I've been told that one of my reviews is one of the ones they've used. So I'm really excited about that. That review has done really well, which is great for me because that I feel like that was I always try to be as genuine and as transparent I can with my reviews. You know, I do them kind of old school fashioned, you know. But that one just felt like lightning in a bottle almost. I hate to say it. You never want to say that with reviews because you always want your next review to be your best review or better than the last one at least, or at least on the same level. But like that one, Megaguirus is also this year kind of feels like, you know, pretty big, pretty. I feel like I'm being pretty genuine in those reviews. Destroya, you know, very excited for, of course, but I was struggling a little bit with that review. I mean, same thing with Megaguirus too. So I'm glad. I'm glad that you got the Shin and you're enjoying him. Same thing with Shark, a friend of mine, Shark. I don't know if he'll stop into stream tonight, but he also recently got it. Seems very happy with it. I still need to talk with him a little bit more. I saw he posted Shin. All the reviews I've been including best Shin. Yeah, it's hands down like. If you are, regardless of how new or old you are to MonsterArts, if there's ever a point in your brain that you think that you might want at least a MonsterArts Shin Godzilla, I would probably I'd just get the new movie graphic. Even if you don't open it, you can just keep it. It is expensive. It's close to $200. I don't see the price coming down on that one. I feel like the stock on that one is going to go down. It's going to kind of be like all the MonsterArts recently. Stock really hasn't been lasting too much. I don't know if they're just doing a better job at like putting it out in waves more in Japan. I'm seeing the Godzilla stores and stuff really stay in stock, but they sell out. And, you know, 2000 was like that. They had kind of continuing stock up until the new year, and then 2000 was dry. So, or no, excuse me, it lasted up until into the new year because when Matt and quite a few more of my friends went to Japan, they were able to see 2000 in the stores. So yeah, so 2000 lasted a little bit longer than that. So, about budgeting, I've been skipping a lot of figures mainly because I've been saving up for the dealer's room. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, MH to MHA, but yeah, that line. Whatever team is working on that line, he is so genuinely thrilled, and like he is really big on that My Hero Academia line. Like, not the biggest My Hero fan, but like I almost want to get the figures because his passion for the figures and the passion of making sure that these figures look really close to the source material, but also can pose, you know, really unrealistically, you know, anime posing, or, you know, Dragon Ball posing as I call it, or Spider-Man posing is probably the best because Spider-Man's typically the most flexible figures out there are typically Spider-Man's. So like they can do Spider-Man posing like almost every single release in that line. So like it almost makes me want to buy those figures out of just pure respect of his passion for his craft and for his figures. It makes me want those figures because there's so much passion in them, and you can just tell that that line basically is just genuine hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. Like these figures are always sold out. They're always getting reissues for the ones that can. Like, where's All Might in here? I think, well, All Might has to be some. Oh, All Might's probably a little bit farther down. Like, All Might's out, Daima Goku's out, obviously. All those fans that said that they hated Daima and they wouldn't buy any Daima product, but the second the Daima product comes in, it's sold out. Yeah, look at these. I can't even get the reissue. I was actually going to pre-order this. Never got to it. Wow. Jesus. They screwed themselves on these. Yeah, because there's no point. Like, the Figma's really... They just dropped the ball with these, man. They got greedy. Because, yeah, this thing is way better than the version 1. And it's the same price, and it has the hands. It's just ridiculous. The Revoltech was more expensive, but it came with more, and it looked better, and it articulated better. So, according, at least off the reviews and comparisons I saw, I don't own the figures, so I don't want to speak like I'm talking about the figures like I've actually played with them in my hands. Goku, can you stop falling over, you little... But yeah, like, All Might sold out. This is like the 3rd or 4th reissue of Deku already. Sold out. Just gone. Jesus. Holy. Wow, okay. Here, the Vigilantes figure. Don't know who it is. I haven't watched it. Sold out. I think he did actually stay in stock for a while. Because I almost pre-ordered him just based off of just like interest. Zerth. Zerth came back into stock. Oh, fuck, I forgot to get it. I got a wish list, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done with the shopping. But you guys get my point, right? Like, that line's just sold out all the time. So, like, it's just very popular. So it makes me want to grab those figures, because half of what I like about the figures that I buy is that I feel like they, not always, but a lot of the time, are some of the best of what they're around, you know, in their figure-wise. Like, these Ultraman figures are... The Figure Arts Ultraman figures have been big old punches. Like, did y'all check this out yet? Y'all check out the review for Hyperzeton? Dude, this thing is... I would say if any of y'all didn't pre-order this and you're thinking about getting this, get it off of MonsterArts and Nin ASAP. I think this is going to be... Galactron has started to spike as well, so... The villain, man... And Saga, oh my god, Saga is so expensive. Saga's 25,000 yen on Nin, but like 16,000 in MonsterArts, I think. So... I know it's not from the movie, but I'd love to see a movie graphic of Ultima. So one thing we don't know yet, and there's a few of the really big MonsterArts people that talk to Tamashii at SDCC are gonna ask a lot of movie graphic plus. I know Articulation Series has already said there's a lot of things just on movie graphic plus line that he wants, questions. So like they said towards the beginning of the line that there'll only be one Godzilla per poster. So that means that this Awakening Shin might be the only Shin in the whole line. Or does that mean this is the only Awakening Shin Godzilla? And then with the red poster, they could do a Night Combat, or Ortho didn't have a poster actually, so they probably couldn't do like an Awakening Ortho, but like, you guys see what I mean? Or like Ultima, who's in an anime, but it still has a poster. I would love the Singular Point poster with all the characters and Godzilla on it. You know, the first one where he's roaring up. I would love that on these poster prints. Like, that would look clean. Because I agree. Ultima is one that I had and then sold, and since selling it and getting back into the line, right when I got back into the line was when I needed to buy Ultima, because that was the last time he was available for retail. A good friend of mine, Thirsty Thursday Toys, had one for a really good price, and I almost bought it from him, and then someone took it right out of my hands. Or, well, got to it first. They didn't take it out of my hands, obviously. They got to it first, so... yeah. I saw someone on Facebook selling one for 170, and it was like, damn, if I had more money, I probably would have bought it, but Nope. that Vegeta was that $30 to my Vegeta was already a little, a little too much. So I gotta pay for some MonsterArts from Adam still. I got a payment to send to him. I've got to get the Shin set finally finished and pre-ordered, and then I have up until this live stream's point all of the MonsterArts that are available and that have a solicitation. I have pre-ordered. They're not all paid for, but they're all pre-ordered. Actually, I think I only have 2 to pay for now. Yeah, I only have the junior set, which is at the end of this month, and Great Clash. Oh, and Odo Island. I still have to pay for Odo Island, so I'll have half of them paid for, because the Shin set will be paid for. I paid for. Oh shit! I have the next 2 paid for. 2014 and Final Wars. That's what it is. I'm planning on getting the Logoji. Yeah, I think anyone who's wanted the MonsterArts 2014, who, for whatever reason, you're choosing the MonsterArts one over any of the other ones available, which I don't disagree with. I think this movie graphic plus one has the ability to be the best articulated 2014 that's stylized. Yeah, hopefully. So if the tail can actually like stay in the air and the joints can hold it, and the face paint is good, we're good. We're good, and that thing is going to slay. So I'm very, very excited for it, admittingly. Ultima's in my top favorite designs, but I still don't have an Ultima. Yeah, Ultima, even like the Bandais and stuff are starting to finally kind of get hard to come by. They're still pretty available over here. You're still gonna see them at G-Fest. You're gonna, I think you still see Ultima when you go to Japan. I know the forms, you can find the 3 previous forms, the Toho Kaiju Godzilla forms, Varan, Titanosauruses, and Gorosauruses. There we go. Shoot. Should I have a Coca-Cola or a cream? I'm gonna have a Coca-Cola. Let's say I have a 2-liter of Pepsi that I want to kind of save, and then I have 1 dirtied Mountain Dew and 1 Coca-Cola. So I'm gonna have my Coca-Cola. Yeah. So far, between on the high, I figure I don't think we have 14. Yeah, because I thought the Heat Ray 2014 high would take it, and I just didn't really see people talk about it. So I maybe people canceled after the first one. I don't know. I'm not in that realm of figures, so it's not my game. I like to be careful when talking about it, because obviously, it's one of the sore topics with this community is talking about hey Shark, how's it going, buddy? Talking about MonsterArts and Haya in the same room, and but I would rather talk about both. I think having both around is great, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm excited for the 2014 this month / next month. It'll probably be like literally 30 days from now. It'll probably be shipping. Bro, Heat Ray S.H is the best 2014. Yeah, I think I did. Just off of pictures, I never owned the Spitfire MonsterArts. I would say just off of photos, I think, yeah. So, but I really do think this movie graphic is going to probably topple all of them, and hopefully that will push them to release. Well, I guess we probably won't get another 2014 release unless we get the Mutos, but I don't know if they would redo a Spitfire. Mega Gear still hasn't shipped yet. Where did you get it from? Again? I feel like that should be out by now, huh? Right? I need to Beast. Well, they still are some of the last ones to get it. I don't think I've seen an email from them recently saying their updated estimates. But I saw that they were supposed to be getting a ton of Hayas soon, so maybe hopefully that means that they'll get some MonsterArts stuff too. So, because that is weird. There's no holiday over here. Probably shouldn't be. Sorry, I saw the Hot Toys. Saw the Hot Toys Qui-Gon Jinn that was announced, and I was like, damn. It doesn't come out till next year. Maybe I should pre-order it, but it's like, no. I'm getting I did get a over. So I do actually kind of regret this. I didn't celebrate on the channel or on Instagram. Like on the socials, I didn't celebrate May the 4th. But of course, personally, I woke up very early for the mall finale. And I did end up the other day, or no. It was because of the finale. I did from Nin Nin Games, which I might cancel mine from Nin Nin Games and get it on BBTS. I did get the Mall Shadow Lord Hot Toys Mall. I do have it pre-ordered, so. So I think I'm gonna keep it one way or the other, but I might cancel it because the shipping for it from Nin Nin Games from Japan is basically almost the same cost as the figure, and it is only $300 plus the U.S. shipping from BBTS, but it will be later, so they're gonna get it quite a bit later. I think is typically how it works. I think Japan still gets their Hot Toys first. Maybe it's the other way. I can't remember. I don't know how fast Hot Toys are in Japan, so I'm gonna decide on that. Also, I'm kind of being a little careful with Nin Nin because I was counting it the other day. I've done more cancellations than actual completed orders with them, so I'm trying not to cancel anything for a while. So I'm not trying to over pre-order with them or over or I'm not trying to overdo anything with them. I want to get back on their good side. They got a pretty, lucrative, forgiving cancellation policy, but like a company can only do that for so long, before it's like it does start hurting them. So I don't want to piss them off. Also, fun fact, at BBTS, Godzilla Final Wars versus Gotengo is sold out. 2014 is sold out. 54 is still in stock. Megaguirus is still sold out. Godzilla 2000 sold out. Destroya is back in stock. Shin and 89 are back in stock. So Gigan is still on pre-order. I guess there's another wave that didn't get imported right away. Odo Island 75 are back in stock, and the Destroya set is back in stock for pre-order. So, the 93. Yeah, that was. I saw some people not Gigan on pre-order. What? No Gigans. Ghidorah though. Ghidorah 72 is on pre-order. I wish Gigan was getting a re-release for people. That'd be cool, but it's a web shop, so it's got to be it literally cannot be the Gigan on pre-order. Well, there's no Gigan on pre-order, so I'm pretty sure I meant 72. I'm starting to get high, so there's no Gigan, but there is Ghidorah 72. So there's Ghidorah 72. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna do another. I don't know how they would do another Gigan 72, unless they're gonna paint it bloody. I don't know if they would do that, so I don't know how we would get a decisive battle version. I guess they could paint it darker and dirtier, like it's got explosion stuff on it, maybe. Or they could release Gigan and the Godzilla Tower together as a set. Oh, I've got one of Larissa's pens with me. That's why I thought I was seeing double. My poor baby. Yes, I saw your post, Shark. I was literally talking about that earlier in stream. We were talking about the Shin a little bit. So it looked like from your post you were mostly enjoying it. So, oh yes, Alex. I saw some people not happy about Big Bad's price on the 93, but I went and did the math, and it basically seems like after shipping and taxes from the US, it's basically the same price or still cheaper to get it from Big Bad Toy Store. Because all these exclusives are now boxed, you know, the shipping for those I think are $40 flat. So like probably spending like 60, 40 to 60 on shipping. And it was what, $30? So yeah, it could be, it's about the same or a little bit more to import. So I think a really good idea to get those P Bandai exclusives on Big Bad Toy Store. You get them super late. Um, to that I can, you know, if it's only like $10, you know, that's just person by person. So budget by budget, of course. I think if I was still collecting Bandai's now, in the way that like I've played with coming back into collecting Bandai's, it's not gonna happen, unless I win the lottery or something. I think right now I'd be buying them off of BBTS like you out or like you did, Alex, with the 93. I just think that's way more budget friendly, a little bit safer with Big Bad Toy Store. The only bad thing is depending on, you know, mentality. You know, like me, I'm trying to move away from pay laters, if I can. So for me, that's the only bad thing with BBTS is you only have to pay a down. Well, it's a good thing and a bad thing. You have to pay a down payment with BBTS, a non-cancelable, but at the same time, pushes you not to back out too. So, yeah, that Shin is pretty. It is. I was looking at it the other day. I messed with the shelf a little bit. I was trying to make room for the Gotengo, and 2014. So we will see if the shelf has enough. So just that one spot they didn't paint on the front of the teeth. Yeah, they flummoxed with yours, man, with that little gap. I thought the price was fine considering the shitstorm happening. I mean, plus shipping, then plus tariff. I don't know who else is. Yeah, that's like I said. I agree. But anyone who's, you know, typically like me, like if Bandai's were my main shtick and that's all I bought, like if I was trying to 100% the MonsterArts line, then yeah, or the movie Monster series line, I'd be importing them, just because of completest reasons. But yeah, as a casual or, you know, not really worried about timing, yeah, BBTS is. I think it does end up being the smartest price wise. So, I think, but I don't know. I don't mind whatever people do either way, you know, because however people spend their money is how they spend it. I can only give the advice and the recommendation to the people that actually want it, and to the people that don't, that is a okay too. So, I am, I am getting full pacifist when it comes to this hobby online because I don't. Love is love. I thought the price, yeah, oh yeah, is collecting figures like dealing with mortgages. When you're like me and you're trying to complete an already pretty high end, high costing line, yeah, absolutely. And that's what it takes for me to not lose control and just start overbuying like I have in the past. Like if you go back to 2023 and 2024 on the channel, it's a Fubi figure, sometimes like two, and we're talking like easily $200 to $400 figures, like once or twice a week, or at least once a week, every month for like a year straight. Plus like $1,000 Fubi and stuff. Like if I allow myself to have unhinged control for things like Safubi or even Bandai or CCP middle, the what is it has a new name now, but the middle size for the CCPs, I will spend until I'm broke. So this is how I have balanced out my life. Is I love my MonsterArts, a personal sentiment, of course. You know, not everyone has that sentiment, but that is sentiment. That is me. It is my favorite line. I want, at the end of the day, I want figures that I can pose in different ways. Hopefully in the most extreme ways that I can. And they don't have to be accurate as long as they look good. So, you know, something MonsterArts can be touchy-feely on, of course. Sometimes they hit it, sometimes they don't. Lovingly. but I decided that this was going to be my line. So this is it. This is I'm ride or die 100% of the MonsterArts, or at least 99%. I'm not doing straight reissues if I have it. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to be that much of a completist, because buying the Shin Godzilla reissues is going to be really hard. The first release, The Awakening, has technically a few waves, but they're not reissues, so I probably could skip over those. But there's 3 main waves of the original run of Shins. Technically, the Night Combat has 2 runs, because it has the regular run and it has the Shin Japan Heroes slipcover exclusive version 1. That's actually climbed in price. That's more expensive than the regular Fourth Night Combat sometimes. So, but yeah, James, for me to not overspend, and for me to create a budget, this is the first year where I'm like budgeting everything out, trying to stay ahead, trying to be responsible, which we've done okay on so far this year. It kind of has to be like a mortgage. I have to treat it like it is like rent and all that stuff, the things that me and my wife, Larissa, that we do together. Slipknot. Okay, I thought Slipknot was starting to go into album tease mode, but it was a Rick Rubin and Sean Cran podcast interview. Okay, I was gonna say that's way too much. We had Motionless and White dropped a song today with Corey Taylor, which I actually haven't even fully heard yet today. Five Finger Death Punch just teased their next song, their next album, their 10th album. The album artwork sucks awfully. I'm so disappointed that Death Punch is visually, aesthetically going the way that they are. It just not not a fan of personally. It's not for me, but the song itself sounded actually pretty way better than the Death Punch versions from the last 2 albums. It's way I feel like it's way better than all of those, and it sounds like it might be better than most of the tracks off of Afterlife for me personally. So we're already moving in the right step, but it doesn't come out until next week on the 15th, so, or the night of the 14th. So so I'll give it a shot, but the really like super AI digital looking army cyberpunk look, did not care for that aesthetic after Afterlife came out. Just didn't care for it, and I was hoping they would step away, try to go a little bit more traditional, and that's just not where they're going, which is fine. That's their choice. Their fan base is based on that, but not my favorite. So I might like the music, but I don't know if I'm going to be buying more than just the albums, which is kind of what I've been doing with them for the last few cycles. Haven't bought any CDs. I never really even got a good CD from the Fate era, so like that's kind of where I fell off. The last shirt I got from Death Punch was the last time I saw them live, in 2018. It was the end of 2017, 2018. Whenever what the hell was that album called? The one with the cringe, And Justice for None. So yeah, it was I think it was like the beginning of 2019 or the very end of 2018. I saw them here in town with my dad. That was the last album or shirt I ever bought from them. So I think maybe there was one more. I think I got an anniversary shirt with the classic Skull and Crossbones. God damn, I wish they'd go back to that logo. That logo was fucking phenomenal. Edgy, but not army edgy, which it's just not my aesthetic. So good for them. I'm glad that they have their crowd, but not for me. So I love the Shin mold. I complained that I couldn't close the mouth all the way, but the mouth actually is so fun to open and close. It is fun, but yeah, I wish it could just, it's the shape of the upper mouth. It's got a little bit of a curve, so it just, and the bottom too, and then yeah, it doesn't close all the way. I think if they did a 2.0 of Shin, I think they could really, I think they could clear it. I think Shin would be able to look up, the head would be able to open up correctly, and honestly, I hope honestly, the tail doesn't have to change really at all. Maybe like a little bit more range, just hollow out the bits a little bit so the tail chunks can actually move on the inside. Um, but like other than that, like I don't think it really needs much. Like the sculpt could honestly not change. Of course, they want to go and make sure that the teeth could end up being a little bit sharper the first run or two. Go right ahead, but like honestly, like yeah, I think they just need to re-engineer the neck and the head. That's it. Really for me, that's all I really want with Shin for a 2.0. So, if they don't want to do a 2.0, sure. I don't mind. So, it's good. I love it. I think this figure, I don't know what it is. They just it I love looking up at my shelf and looking at it. It is the closest figure to the front of the shelf besides technically Anguirus, and that's because Anguirus's tail is like just slapping the shit out of Gigan, Ghidorah, and Jet Jaguar unintentionally. So like besides Anguirus, like that Shin is the closest thing that I can see. That's closest to me from my shelf, and like I just love looking at it. I love that Shin. So I've been feeling the desire to pull it down, to take photos of it, which is a really damn good sign. There is a chance that this Shin might end up at the top of my MonsterArts list for 2026. I didn't want to give it to a recolor or reskin, but like it's I that's kind of honestly, Shark, that's the one thing that holds me, kind of wants me to hold the Shin back, is like they had the opportunity to do that with the second, third, and first form, the unidentified object. They could have just thrown the separate jaw in there. Didn't even need the beams. I think all they should have threw the jaw in that set for this Shin, and I think it would be perfect. There's a part of me that still wants to hope that maybe it's just a secret accessory that they will confirm later. It's just something that for some reason they don't have fully licensed out yet. You know, they've done that with the Dragon Ball figures. They did it with Mini Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. The Kamehameha effect wasn't fully done. I almost wish that the adult Daima Goku also had that too, but the Mini had a note on it saying that there was something that they couldn't show yet. So that's why I don't think the Shin has that, but there's still that little bit of trauma in my brain that's like, hopefully it's there. Because that's really all the movie graphic Shin Awakening needs is the split jaw, and it would actually, if it came with the split jaw, it would be perfect. I would tell you right now that this would be the #1 figure for MonsterArts at the end of 2026. Into 2027, this would be #1 if it had the jaw. 100%. I wouldn't be able to deny it. But it doesn't have the jaw, and right now the other Shin set doesn't have the jaw. So it is probably likely right now. Megaguirus is feeling pretty strong at #1, so but we'll see. We'll see. It does look like Ava Unit 1 G Awakening is going to be released this year, so if it's this year, that's right up there. Honestly, that Shin set too, I've got some fun ideas for the tail for the first form. I've got some fun ideas, so we'll see if I can actually complete those. So I sure wish I had the Megaguirus. I hope you get it soon, my friend. Maybe send them an email. Just see, maybe, I don't know, just to see, because I don't. Do they even? Let's see. Wrong window. Let me go to Beast. Not putting them on blast or anything. I'm just, I want to help. I want to give both, because they were very generous with the Destroyer. So okay, so it's still in pre-order mode, it looks like. Oh no, never mind. They just never. They leave that so you can see the history of it. This one still says back ordered. Interesting. They must be getting another wave of Destroyers. So maybe there's another wave of Megaguiruses. Because do they have Shin yet? It looks like, yeah, if they don't have their Shin Godzillas, then yeah, they won't have their Mega Gearuses yet. So hopefully soon, my friend. It's not Beast's fault, really. They kind of get screwed with shipping. They're typically always one of the last ones to get everything anyways, to begin. 2 weeks and 1 day ago, they said they have it in 1 to 2 weeks. There's still time then. Well, I had 2 weeks and 1 day. But, yeah. Hopefully, I would just send them another email. Like I said, they've been getting screwed. They got screwed with Destroya. That wasn't on them, so. And Destroya for me was 3 months late, so we'll. Hopefully they're just on the final wait. Because, yeah, once they got their Destroya and they hit me up for my Destroya, they got it out to me basically within like a day or two, so. And then I'm not very far from them, so. Well, no, they're in Virginia. It shipped from Virginia, I think, so. It took like half a week, but it was fine. No, it didn't. It got delayed, I remember, because I was pissed. Ooh, some cosplay stuff. But yeah, hopefully it gets you soon. Shark. Hopefully. I guess that's kind of. I didn't really talk about 2004's issues. We kind of got really, not like off track. We just like. I never got back on track, and the branch became the base of the conversation, and then that had branches, and I never got back because I never really explained why 2004 has an infamous track record for releases, mainly because it's just been QC'd to hell. Eye issues and stuff, so. And joints falling apart with the last reissue, so. Final Wars better not end like that. I will throw a baby hissy fit on stream if my Final Wars fucking explodes on me like the reissue. There will be hell to pay. Tamashii will still be my ride or die, but I'm gonna have a very professional and video full of criticism. If that Final Wars Heat Ray Goji is fucked, or even the 2014. Yeah, dude, oh man, I'd be mad. I'd be disappointed. Really hope you get a great Final Wars, but it's really funny if it sucks. I really hope that everyone gets a great Final Wars and we can finally put the Final Wars QC dread to rest. I hope it just comes out and it's great for everyone, and it's like most of these last 7 or 8 releases from Tamashii that are really good with almost no issues. And we're winning. That's it. Same thing with 2014. If both of these can come out, like they're literally on an 8-figure run. Most people started after King Ghidorah, but King Ghidorah 72 is definitely on that run for me. There's those googly eyes just can't. They just don't bother me. And although I do agree that it is very overly expensive, more than most releases, it just like I love Ghidorah 72. There is a you might have to get the only final bad. I mean, I guess if it's a 99% and mine's the only bad one, then I'm still flipping. We won't even know for like 3 months because I'm importing it, and most people that are going to be getting it are probably going to be English releases, so I'll have like a good half of them from the Japanese collectors before I get mine, and then the other reviewers and the people who like to import would be next, and then me, and then I'd have to wait for the English releases. So the MonsterArts 72 Ghidorah is your favorite. Nice, James. I guess this is kind of the perfect point to talk about it, especially because I know Shark is one of the people that's wanted this the most. Oh man, wait a second. Let me do this. I'm gonna go back to this one. Let's do this. I'm gonna see if I can't get this photo off of my iCloud. I don't think it's been updated soon enough for this though, but we'll see. I don't think I've done a sync. So I'll have to I'll find a way to get it on screen. But I think this announcement probably will be better if I just show the the impromptu thumbnail. Oh, it's all on here. Wait. No. That was some of it. Not all of it. Oh, that's the movie version. No. Oh, that's right, because of I have to convert all of my images to, so that wouldn't work. Damn it. That's right. I tried doing something like this a little bit before stream. It didn't work. Okay. Wait. I've got an idea. Just a second. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all probably already know what it is. You're in love with this camera angle? Yeah, you like my bald head just being in the camera? I need to fix. Well, one, I need to shave my head so I'm actually bald. And then two, where's the photo? There it is. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this. We're going to just do it this way. We're just going to do it this way, okay? Okay, so here. Hello. So, ooh, can you guys... No, you can't. I'm sure you guys can make out what most of those are, or figure out what all of those on the there you go. There it is. What's all that? I see Legion, Ghidorah, Shimo, Anguirus, Godzilla 2000, Gamera, Final Wars, Burning Godzilla, Scar King in the back, Suko and Mothra and Mechagodzilla on the screen. Man, I wonder what that could mean. The 2025 most, or my top my top MonsterArts of 2025 video is fully recorded, and is ready to be edited, which will then mean that video will finally release 5 months late, or 4 months late technically, because I wanted it out by the end of January, and now it'll be the end of May, so 4 months late, but technically 5 months, because it was supposed to be recorded, edited, and then released in January. So technically the beginning of January also counts, but top 2025 releases is coming. It's so hype, I know. Ooh. But you know, that's kind of what this live stream theme came from, was that I literally, in that video, in a cut of a section that will never be released, actually mentioned the 2014 and the 04 with quality issues, and I'm like, oh shit, both those dropped this month. Holy moly, we're either into a really, really good month or a really, really bad month. And that's what started this. And then I was supposed to stream last night, and like I said, I've been helping out with Larissa, and this is the last day that I will be able to stay with her. Tomorrow I go back to work. I haven't been to work in like 4 or 5 days, so I've been her butler, her donkey, her personal bag holder, weight holder. You know, I've driven her to her doctor's appointments happily. It's been, I honestly really don't want to go back to work. You know, so like it's weird that it's coming to an end. I'm excited to get back to work and making sure that I'm making all of my money so I can make sure that I can pay for my pre-orders and stuff, but it sucks not being able to have the family time that her and I and Tater have had. So it's gonna be a rough couple days, so I wanted to make sure that I did live stream before I kind of go back into a little bit of a depression for a week or two. So unless my job happens to fire me, and then you'll probably be seeing me a lot more and on YouTube, because I'll be trying to fill the void with my depression. So yeah. But yeah, we'll see. One will be, so if it's 50-50, I would rather have the Final Wars Goji be good and the 2014 be bad. Just off of price, because 2014 is almost double the price after shipping than the 2014 movie Graphic Plus. So, although it would make more sense for the web shop exclusive to fail, because one, it is more expensive. Less people are going to be at the Godzilla store or at SDCC or wherever they'll be. They'll probably, well, SDCC, they'll probably see the Final Wars Goji because all of the releases are general releases over here. But for in Japan, more people are going to have their hands on and be buying the 2014. Some people might not believe me, but remember, especially with MonsterArts, we don't even see, I think, probably half of the collectors that actually buy MonsterArts and figure art, well, any of these toys really, I think show it off online. I think MonsterArts is one of the bigger groups where a lot of it is people that don't post online, post their collection, or maybe they just follow people and they don't post about it, they lurk. So like these retail figures, when these figures do good, these specifically these movie graphic plus figures do good, it's very good for the line. So these are the figures that we do actually need to do good. So it is bad for me to say that I would rather have 2014 fail, but 2014 might have some of the updated 2021 and 2024 joint cuts of the Godzilla for the shoulders, so the shoulders will have that more articulated range, and the neck might be better just due to plastic. Not that they updated the articulation at all, because that's not what they did. But we want the figures that are general releases to do better, because those are the ones that parents are likely going to buy their kids, even though I've been told that MonsterArts in Japan has, well, Tamashii in general lately does not have a really good name in Japan because they are fucking expensive, and they've been having some QC issues and some legal issues. So, but not with the Godzilla line, and not with the Ultraman line, so we're good, and the Dragon Ball line, so we're good. Just the Kamen Rider line, so we're fine. But yeah, I personally, if it's just for me, for what I'm getting, I would rather have 2014 and the Gotengo be stellar, and I'd rather have 2014 be a failure, even though that does make me kind of die on the inside. But generally, I would rather have 04 or 2014 be good because it's a general release, and 04 fail. Also, on a more general conversation, it is better for the web shops to fail, because they really do seem to take the criticism for the web shops a little bit more to heart, and make changes based on what we say about these web shop releases more than the general, which is weird because you'd think the general, because there should be more people buying it, but they take notice. Megaguirus was really good for a reason, and I Destroy as well. So, and I think they learned from Ghidorah, for the people that had issues with Ghidorah, because there was plenty of issues with it. So we've been seeing that corrected. So very good for me getting 62. For the Sacrificial Lamb. Yeah, I think so far the movie graphic line probably is going off to a banger. It's why I think the next announcements for MonsterArts, for the Godzilla line, it more than likely probably is going to be GMK and Kiryu Goji. So, which would be great because they'll be cheaper, easier to pre-order. I don't have to, fight people for them. But if Tamashii wants to wait a few weeks, so I could hopefully just pay for them outright, and I don't have to, pay later them. Or if I can just pay later them for a week or two and then just pay for them the next week, it's okay. Should be both of them at the same time. So that was one thing I was thinking. I was like, maybe that's what the change is going to be, that they're not going to be announced in sets anymore. To which case, typically how they've been doing it is the one that released chronologically first has released first in the sets. So I do think if GMK and Kiryu Goji are kept as a set announcement, GMK will still release first. So they've still so far have been 1 month apart. So for the true Japanese release, so January for 89, February for Final Wars, April for 1954, May 2014. Do we think the O2? No, no. It I thought someone posted something a few weeks ago saying that the Haya O2 and the Mechagodzilla 93, that stuff actually should be coming relatively soon. I thought I heard, but maybe that was just an estimate because all of the Heat Ray variants, 89, GMK, and 2000 or 99s were finally coming out. So I don't know, because that's what is next, right, for Haya, isn't it? The O2, the Kiryu. Was there some MonsterVerse stuff that I'm forgetting about? Oh, Mecha King Ghidorah as well. Yes. Okay. 62 movie graphics. I would say that's probably the next, like, if they don't interrupt GMK and Kiryu. If they don't interrupt those two, my guess is 62 probably is in the next set. So there's very good feeling very good feeling that 62 will probably be next year. It will be next year. There's a chance that GMK and Kiryu might not come out till next year either. It's getting kind of late, but like I'll pop over to Articulation Series quick, because once again he just shows it off the best, the way he's done this site. Like I have to make sure I thank him again in stream. I didn't get to finish the 54 unboxing stream, so actually that might be what I fall asleep to tonight. So I might play that, because that's why I fell asleep during the stream to begin with. This is, once again, this is only September for JP, so the true release timeline that we always base our releases off of is JP's timeline. So we only have till September. So we're 5 months. If something is announced right now, it's 5 months away. Typically, new molds are 6 months to 7 months from solicitation to release. Like I believe this was a March, right? March or February, and this was an October release. See what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Larsa's probably... Oh, interesting. Yeah. So like, yeah, because this was already like at the beginning of March, right? Or the end of March, right? Is that when Odo was announced? Because that was Odo Island is our last announcement, and we've been sitting on Odo Island for quite some time. Holy shit! Yeah, I am well in March. We haven't had a pre-order in 2 months? Whoa! I did call that MonsterArts was going to take a break in April. Nice. I'm glad that I was accidentally right about that. Yeah, we didn't... That's it. Like, we're on break right now. So yeah, yeah, Shark, I would say 64. See, once again, with 64, they probably aren't going to do, because they absolutely know that people don't like that figure. I just feel like they would want to 2.0 the 64. So it couldn't be in the movie graphic line, because the movie graphic line is only re-releases. But I say that, and then tomorrow, 64 could be announced. So like I said, grain of salt, but that's just everything that I've been told and everything I've personally witnessed. I don't see them doing 64. It's kind of like 94 as well. I don't see them doing 94 in movie graphic, because it kind of would make sense for them to do a 2.0 with updated articulation, and that kind of hits Rebirth as well, because Rebirth, the Rebirth mold is not good. I sick of that fucking mold. You guys will see it when the 2025 release video comes out. You guys are there's gonna be something that shocks you in there a little bit. Um, I try to let it down slowly and easy, but there is a few surprises. But as much as I would want Rebirth to get a re-release, I really would rather them just start doing 2.0s of the already released Heisei Godzillas that need it. So that would be 94 and 95, and then 89 is fine, 91 is fine, and then if 92, 93 come out, those would be in the new style, the 2.0 body molds. So they would just release a brand new 94 and 95 and a 2.0 to catch up with the new Heisei releases that we already have. Like I said, I don't think 91 needs a 2.0. Now, obviously, if they do a 91A suit, a Hokkaido suit, wait, no. Yeah, if they do a Hokkaido suit, obviously, if they want to throw in some of the new articulation, I think the Hokkaido suit specifically would be really cool to throw that experimentative articulation that 75 has, with the dorsal plates are able to move around and slightly position, or at least some of them are, to change the appearance of them moving. I think the 91 Hokkaido suit would be a fun Heisei Godzilla to try that with. Not that the others need it, but I think that one specifically, just because the dorsal plates are they're so low on his back, and that's the thing I remember with that suit, is they flop around. So if they don't want to do that, that's fine, but I feel like that would be the one exception where it'd be really cool, and then maybe 92 and 93 can have it. So, but that's just speculation. There's obviously nothing Tamashii has said or anyone else has said to suggest that we are getting 2.0s. It just makes sense with the 15th anniversary this year and Godzilla 2000 being the benchmark of new articulation according to Tamashii themselves, and that's the standard they want to move, or they want to use going forward for new molds, which is what the Great Clash Godzilla has. Some of this new neck joint for it to be able to look up is part of that, is included with that. So it probably won't have like the butterfly joints in the shoulders, but there is a chance that when we get it in hand, it could end up being more articulated in more ways than just the stuff that they're promoting, because they've done that. 2000, we didn't know that there was going to be butterflies, and then we saw it on a prototype, and then we were just hoping and praying, and then once it came out, we were like, oh shit, it has butterflies. Ghidorah 72, they tried showing off the heads, but I feel like the way that they didn't do it was the best way. These heads and the body can move around. Megaguirus can move around. You see what I'm hopefully what I'm laying. Like, these new sculpts have been way more articulated than they show off. They stick to mostly realistic range for these promo shots. They stick to this the suit range of these figures, and then when we get them in hand, they typically have way more. Like, Odo Island is an exciting future release, because if it does actually have more articulation than they're showing off, and it can balance, that thing is going to be so cool, and then would maybe make me to make a debate that would say the higher or the same price tag as 75 is almost worth it if it has that crazy articulation and balance. But the likelihood is it probably isn't, and it probably should have been $20 cheaper. But we'll see once that actually fucking comes out. So, of a character selection screen, yeah, I think he probably took a little bit of inspiration, but like, it really is good just doing these kind of, they're obviously not actually 4x4, but like these 4x4-esque like character selection things that you click on that brings in the folder that can send you to the link that sends you the description, the high definite, or the really, really nice photos sent from Tamashii themselves. So the promo photos he uses are not the ones that we get that's on their social media. These photos are the ultra high res versions straight from Tamashii. Basically very little to, if any, muddling from these. So yeah. But yeah, I want the 99 to be re-released again. I don't know if they're going to do the Sakai 99 again, because they do have this, a more suit accurate version on the voting poll, but let's see. Actually, we're kind of getting to the end of the stream. I kind of want to finish up these points, and then I was told that the 54 survey is out, so I guess they're back to doing surveys on every release now again. So the 54 survey is out, so I'm not gonna do mine, but if he does have the link to it here on his page, we can go through it quick to see if anything was added. It's been out for a few days, but sometimes people don't make a big deal if the list changes until a few weeks after, until closer to the US releases. So yeah, 93 would have new engineering and a beautiful face, showing off Mega. They don't show these figures doing their full ranges. Like Mega Gearus, we had no idea. Yeah, there's Tokusatsu BTS. There's Joseph. Hello. But yeah, so like we didn't know Mega Gearus was gonna move. So this great class Goji could have all the Godzilla 2000 articulation in it. Well, removal doesn't mean anything either, because Godzilla 75 is literally still on that list and is very much already in solicitation. So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't think I actually expect anything. Yep, here it is. So we're only going to view this. Once again, if you guys use this site, feel free to go and glance this, but you are not meant to fill this out. This is only meant if you have the figure, and not like, I don't want to fill this out right now based on other people's photos. I want to wait until I get mine and actually feel it to be able to properly evaluate. They do pay attention to this. If you really have something you want to tell them, put it professionally in these free description posts. They do listen. Ghidorah 72, I did do the full, I did go through and talk about like the eye paint like can't be this way. Like this is not acceptable. Like I told them that as often as I could. So ooh, I don't think Odo Island was on here during the last survey. So that's new for this list. So maybe this is updated. Here's the yen. Here's the movie list. So like this is all the movies. So if you just like in general want a movie more, when I do these surveys, I do everything that doesn't have anything or anything I want. So like I want 62 Godzilla re-released. I don't ever see us getting Kong 62, but never say never. So like I do it, but I also want all of 64, all of 65, all of 60, or all of 60, both 64s, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. There's still some stuff in 71 we need. Gigan we don't need. Megalon we need. 74 we need. 75, like this. So this is what I do. So I select everything, which in general, isn't good for actually getting things that I want done. So if you guys wanted 84, doing it my way wouldn't be good. You should only vote for 84 here, because then that means that 84 is the one that you're pushing in front of everyone else. So, ooh, actually, I don't think that was there before. That might be different. Also, they added these two back. I know 95 was on here. Also, I don't think Gigan Rex was on here for a while. It was just Megalon. 2017 is on here, not 2018 or 20... Well, they don't have movie 2 or movie 3, so I don't think that they're offering us a Ghidorah or a Mechagodzilla prototype from here. So interesting that Godzilla vs. Eva is on here and that the Gamera movies are listed. It is disappointed to see that it's still the Heisei movies and none of the Showa movies got added. And all 3 Mothra movies are still on here. That is good. That is very good. So that means that they are being requested. So, okay. So here's the commercialize. So yeah, so here's like, if something disappears off the list, it doesn't mean it's coming out, because there's 75 still there. Right. So 71 is still on here, 73 is still on here, Megalon is still on here. honestly, when I do this one, I might not do the everything. I might, like, I want my Destroy All Monsters melee character selection complete. Everything besides Megalon and Orga is able to be purchased. It's able to be purchased. And the only thing I'm technically missing is Kiryu. So with Destroy here now, because I'm counting my Showa Ghidorah as the Ghidorah that appears in the game. That way it makes sense that it's Ghidorah versus Mecha King Ghidorah. So it's Heisei also existed at one point, got killed, turned into Mecha King Ghidorah. Even though I think in the games they suggest that it's the regular 91 is defeated and then brought back with Mecha King Ghidorah like in the show. But I'm an asshole, so I want to do it this way. So, oh, I can have the chat up and move this down. Okay, so cool. So, oh man, I missed a ton of stuff on here. Our Titano and MG2 on here. So MG2 is, 75 is, but not Titano. So, oh, I can't select anything though. So 75 Mecha G has been on here for a long time. A long time. Same thing with Godzilla. So, vote the Rebirth of Mothra or else. Yeah. And 84, yep. And then Cybot. Yeah, if we could get, honestly, if we could get a suit accurate and a Cybot and MonsterArts. Absolutely. Oh, Larissa has joined the chat. It hasn't been 2 hours yet. It's only an hour and a half. You want 64 and 73, but I will only vote. Well, I mean, so that's not terrible if it's only 3 choices. I would probably say keep it, probably absolute maximum realistically you would want to do is 5 per these multiple choice setups. So like if there's 5 in here you want to see, so oh yeah, like if you want more Monster Hunter, hit Monster Hunter, you know, please go right ahead. So do what you guys want. That's just like, Tater coming. He does have space to get through here. I probably should stop yelling. My neighbor, it's starting to get late. I don't need my neighbors pissed off at me again. Yeah, or Rebirth 3, Cretaceous. So what would likely happen is probably Mothra would release, and then however well Mothra did, then we might get the other things. Even though I feel like Cretaceous and Grand Ghidorah would do way better than Mothra herself or himself. Incredibly. Tater, come here, buddy. Uh-oh. He jumped up to be at. Okay. Come here. Come here. All right, everyone. You ready? It's okay, Papa. It's okay. Come here. Tater, the Godzilla. Tater. Worship him, people. Worship him. Oh, the big sigh. He's like, oh, I hate this. It's okay. I love you, puppy. Look at him. You're on the screen. He's like, I don't care. There you go. Sorry, Papa. He doesn't like to stand on his back legs so much, so that'll be the it for that tonight. You go, Papa. Oh boy. Thank you, Mama, for letting the Tater like the candle. Come here. Give me a kiss. Oh, I'll be done soon. Definitely be done soon. Oh, he comes in for one more cameo. He is a beautiful monster.
He's very upset that after you left for a while, he just stood in the bed and just waited for you.
Oh, I'm sorry, baby. It'll be bedtime after this still, okay? Yeah, it'll be bedtime after this. Get going. Go.
Dad's gonna take the car.
Yeah, they're going to the car. Yeah. Love you both. Thank you, honey. Oh, he's so, I love Tater. He's such a good boy. The entity, he is. He's the shadow. So, but yeah, I think with Rebirth, Mothra is probably going to be ending up being close to being like Mothra will release and then they'll decide. So this is actually, so we'll continue this. So yeah, Megalon, 75, Godzilla, we'll deselect these. Orga, I always hit Orga. 91 Hokkaido is on here. So like I said, they obviously Yuji Sakai is a big Heisei fan. So seeing these on here, but 94 being on here again, I don't see them hopefully not finally doing a Heat Ray 94 and it still being that 15-year-old mold. I would actually be pretty pissed if that's what they did. So this better be 2.0. So this is the year to at least announce it. So, but maybe that's something they won't do until Tamashii Nation's event in November. So that's kind of the type of announcement that they would probably want to save. You know, that is a 2.094, I think probably is one of the most hype things they could announce right now. So that probably would be a Tamashii event thing. They like to save those really, really crazy things for that. Which is kind of crazy that Legion was also on that spot. But I know in Japan, Legion did really well. So, dog's adorable. Thanks, James. Yeah. Mothra will sell 100%. So, to be fair, we haven't had a Toho Mothra in 10 years now? Was it 10 years? 11 years? There's the first release. There she is. 9 years. 9 years. Yeah, her set was $100. Damn, dude. Almost 9 years ago. So, I mean, I don't know. Is there anyone new on here? So there's the suit modeled edition, 99. Once again, I think if this, and I absolutely do think this is getting, I bet this is getting beat the hell out of, I would assume it's going to be Wakasa. So, hopefully, please. If Wakasa can just do Orga 99 suit version and he did Megaguirus, then I think we win. The GMK trio's on here. OS Mothra's on here. Final Wars Anguirus and Kaiser is still here. Jet Jaguar's still here. Anguirus and Salunga are still here. Both Gauss are still on here. So yeah, nothing's changed, it looks like. So yeah, Gauss from 95 is still thankfully on here. Hopefully that happens. That needs to happen soon. And then the Hyper Gauss from Gamma 3 is actually still on there. It's interesting that they seem they want to do it. So they're interested if we're interested. So I don't know how well that would do. I feel like it would have to be something like the Singular Point Rodan set, where obviously we would have like one or two like big Gauss, and then they could do like little unpainted, swarm versions. I think that would go over well. So for when he killed, we have been starved on Mothra. Yeah. So yeah, I think any Mothra would do really well. It probably would be Mothra 96 because it's the anniversary, so Leo, base Leo. But we'll see. You never know. Could do Armor, Aqua, Eternal, Rainbow. They could do anything. They could also just re-release 92 as well. I wouldn't, honestly, any of these choices, I'd be down for any of the Mothras. So, as long as they're Toho Mothras. It could be the SOS one as well. If they dropped SOS Mothra, I'm saying this right now, probably means that SOS Kiryu and SOS Godzilla is probably around the corner, which I've been saying for years. I felt like the SOS Kiryu, at least, has been needing a decisive battle version. And, I don't want to say again this year that it feels like it really should happen, but like it probably should. Like there's just no way they don't know that we want that Kiryu. That Kiryu does well every time it's sold. So same 94 molds with the orange splotches. I don't think they're gonna do that. I'm pretty sure the rumor, the whispers are from that if 94 were to be demanded enough again, it would more than likely be at 2.0. So hopefully, but that's all hearsay. So we should be getting at least 2 Mothras a year with 1 new mold. I would be okay with that. James wants 64 Mothra. Regrettably, because I people have been asking Articulation Series this, it really sounds like with the Showa stuff they're gonna go slow. Basically going to be mostly moving movie by movie. So once they've either finished a movie or the demand for that movie's characters drops, then they'll stop wherever. So it is possible that we might get 75 Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla in 75, and then we might not get Titanosaurus for a few years like Anguirus and Ghidorah. It's possible, and then they can move on to the next film. 64 Mothra is, out of all the Mothras, is definitely one of the ones I would want, but it sounds like the Showa stuff, they're just doing one movie at a time. Once again, regrettable, because 2 years ago during the 70th anniversary, I said a Mothra 64 would be really cool as just like a special one-off. They could do an anniversary set like they did with Hedorah. It would just be Showa Mothra, the two larvae, one set, make it $300 or $200, whatever it would be. Slap a anniversary stamp on it, and people would buy it, and they didn't do it. So I don't know. I don't know if 64 and 74 are gonna be in this weird like barred off area, because one of the releases from each of those movies, the only releases for those movies, is currently scuffed, and they don't want to do those 2.0s first, if they're even considering 2.0s, or if they're just going to stick to the old Heisei stuff, and we're going to start seeing 2.0s for all the Heisei things. Which would... We are never getting 60... It could be a great one-off, man. It could be. Because that's... With that movie, it's interesting, because they could do just like a base Rodan, or they could do a 2-pack with the male and the female, or it could be a Rodan with a bunch of the larvae, and the everything that the why can't I remember their name right now? The Meganulon, duh, or the Meganula, excuse me, the Meganula in the movie. So like, it could come with a bunch of those. So they have options, or they could do what the Revoltech set did. They could do that too. Matt, if you're still in chat, that's awful. But absolutely, I like it. That was a funny joke. So, probably my favorite scenes from last episode probably is that one right there. So, a little. Matt sent a boy's gift from the last episode last week, not today's episode, but last week's episode. A gift from Matt to your photo. So it was funny. Yeah, Mothra, man. I want any of them. If they want to just surprise drop 64, please, I'll take it. They want to do 03, I'll take it. As long as... I think my only thing, though, is that if they're going to do Mothra, and maybe this is why they haven't done Mothra in a while, is maybe they're afraid to do larva separate, and they don't think people are going to like the price tag of 03 and 64 specific, or 64A specifically, having 2 larvae. And they don't know if people will pay for a Imago and 2 sets of, or 2 larvae. Like I said, I would expect a set like that to probably be closer to 300. It just... Like, they were $100 set 9 years ago. So, like... Well, then... But Destroy only went up 100. But that was only with accessories. Mothra, it's whole other figures. So I don't know. Maybe that's what's stopping them with the Mothras. They're nervous about the larvas. They don't want to just sell the Imago, because they know if they sell the Imagos, which are probably going to be sitting at that 180, 200 range, people are going to be like, why aren't the larvas in here? But if they actually had to price the larvas in there, it'd be closer to 300. I don't know. Or there'd be no accessories. Or they're doing what everyone's doing and they're practicing and testing bendy wire wings, which I don't. Tamashii doing it isn't going to change my opinion when I saw people geeking out about it with the 91 Haya Ghidorah. I don't trust bendy wire products, period. I have gotten to the point where I don't really touch Scar King's whip anymore very much, just to start preserving. And obviously, when we get Golza later this year with its wired tail, I'm going to be careful there. Not going to be moving that SOB around a lot, at least not the tail, at least. I don't know if I trust the longevity, so if that's one of the reasons, one of the many reasons I just went on a tangent about why they might not be releasing a new Toho Mothra. If bendy wire is one of them, I don't know if that's worth it. I'm 100% nervous about it. And I know technically if we waited 20 minutes there could be an announcement tonight. I don't think so. I think Tamashii's taking a break. Let me finish this note about the bendy wire, and then I'll get to something I actually was going to bring up a while ago about releases, why we're expecting some May announcements, and why it could be within the next night or two. But let me finish this bendy wire. Even if Tamashii announced a new 03 Mothra right now, let's say it's a full set, it has the larva, let's say it's only like 25,000 yen. And then the Mothra, the big thing, it's got bendy wires and it looks beautiful. I know in the moment I'm going to be caught in it, and even like the first couple weeks. But closer to the release, I promise I'll be getting more nervous to the point where it's going to be a little concerning. So, I guess it's just a skill issue. It's not a skill issue. It's companies not doing it correctly. So typically with bendy wires, it's normally not the company's fault. It typically ends up, or the collector's fault. It's typically the company's fault. So like Golza, like people were getting their Golza with the wires broken already in the tail and like already pierced. Diego Doom's review and unboxing of Golza is the perfect example. He literally opens his up, and his is like the tail has the wires sticking out of it as he's pulling it out of the box. So there's a one-piece figure that the wings are all bendy wire for it. It's a very expensive figure, by the way. Holy moly. One of the most expensive humanoid figure arts I've personally ever seen. That's a little up there. Let's bring this character up. I have no idea about this character. He's from One Piece, but I do want to bring him up. And then the Luffys have also been doing bendy wire, but it hasn't been good. I don't care what anyone says. I don't think it's been good. I don't think they've been doing it the best. This guy, Marco. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, these are all bendy wire. These are all bendy wire. These wings, the wings on him. This is all bendy wire, and it does look good here. But man, is this going to be able to last? Are these going to be coming out with bendy wire coming out? I don't know. And I don't know if it's worth risking. I personally still do like my plastic wings. I think, especially with the Showa stuff, it really gives the feeling of Showa. It feels very cheap. So like Ghidorah 72, I think it really helps that figure, because those were just basically big, fabric things with bendy wires. Like those didn't really flop that much either without like being really fucking whipped and stuff and thrown around. So like I think at base for 72 at least, like I think the Ghidorah, it matches it. So just make the larva a 2-pack and make Mothra a 180. But you gonna this is legitimate. Okay, I would hope they would do it at least the way that I'm gonna pitch it, but we kind of know that they probably won't. So say they do the larva as a 2-pack. Let's just hope and pray that any effects that we could hope for, they come with. So if there's two of them, hopefully there's two different like web effects, kind of like the Heisei Mothra larva had the single. So hopefully that there would be, even if it was two different ones, hopefully you could at least have one for each of them. And I guess with O3, she doesn't have a beam, right? I don't think she does anything with her antenna. So like, yeah, like the alt red eyes maybe. So I don't know what they can include for Imago, but like if the larva at least had a few accessories, then I could see them doing them separately. But then once again, like they're probably gonna be like $100 still. So you're gonna get maybe like at least effects for the larvas, and the larvas is gonna be $100, and then Mothra's gonna be 180. You're still some way to bite Godzilla's tail. But then for O3 we would have to have the Godzilla then. So, and I really do think if they do a Tokyo SOS Godzilla, like I said, I think it'll be a 2.0 of the Kiryu Goji. So the Kiryu Goji would then kind of look obsolete next to the O3. Or they might only change the chest plate out. Tamashii could go one way or the other. I haven't owned the O3 in a few years now, so I can't really remember how it felt posability wise. I feel like it was, well, it definitely wasn't on 91 or Final Wars level, so I don't know. Maybe they might just do a resculpt of the chest and call it good, or they could do that. They could do a 2.0. I don't know. The egg, probably not. Yeah, see, well, maybe. And maybe that's what they could do. They can both larvas, both webs, and then an in-scale egg, because then they could just store the larvas in the egg in the package and then just have the effect sets around the egg. It would save them some space. That'd be kind of cool. Probably not. That seems pretty elaborate for Tamashii, but hey, they've been doing some pretty crazy elaborate stuff too. So, and I do think, although I don't think prices are necessarily going to go down, I hope that they level out, because they've been going really, even the Japanese yen seems to kind of be, the Japanese cost of these, the yen costs have been jumping up and down, the retail costs. Odo Island in 75 is still, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking there. I'm still gonna get both, obviously, but that Odo Island's gonna have to be really good to be able to stack up with the 75 Godzilla. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna have to be really good. What was I saying? 75 was cheap, but that's how much 89 would have been without the tariffs, because that's the thing with Ghidorah, 89, and movie graphic Shin, and Destroya, I think was part of. No, Destroya was left out of it. I can't remember if Megaguirus was or not. These three for sure. The tariff was built into their USD. That's why Ghidorah was $300. Ghidorah should not have been $300 USD. This was one of the first times the USD was much more than the yen. Oh no, it was even. Oh shit, it was 30,000. Fuck. Maybe I am misremembering this moment. Oh, Shimo was a huge drop. But this was pre-tariff. Maybe there was more shenanigans than I remember with Ghidorah. I will possibly concede on that one. That's a pretty universal exchange, but I do know that these two, where are they at? These two had the tariffs built into them, so that's why they were a bit, especially Shin right there. That's a pretty, don't typically see a lump like that. So because there's no reason that 89 is 134 and these two are 109. There's no reason besides tariff. So yeah, maybe it was just 89 and Shin that had it built in. Megaguirus feels realistic. Yeah, because 11,000. Yeah, 89 is just more expensive because, yeah, 89 is 13. I guess maybe the JP retail also had some tariff built into it because, yeah, they did that and then that hasn't happened again because then he's 13, but he's new engineering and new articulation and a new sculpt. So it does look like 110 is supposed to be the general price range, with 89 just being weird. And Shin was always 130, 140, 150. So Shin doesn't really change. It's just his is felt a little bit more since he's closer to 2. So no, I would assume that GMK Ghidorah would be the sacrifice for GMK Mothra and Baragon, but I see Baragon and Mothra being together anyways. So I feel like they're gonna do what X Plus did with their FSL set. It'll be Godzilla, obviously, because we already have GMK Ghidorah, Godzilla, and then GMK Ghidorah will be by itself. It'll be like 300 some bucks, or hopefully not maybe 300 at max. But it has both sets. It has a set of clamped wings and a set of fully spread wings. Maybe some beams, probably not beams, but hopefully at least the wings, so we don't have to buy 2 GMK Ghidorahs. Although I guess if maybe that's how they wanted to do it. Well, no, because, well, yeah, so the base one would be the folded up wings that don't have interchangeable wings. It's just the folded up wings. It's painted more like bronzy, like flat gold, and then it has some regular gravity beams. And then in 2 years, they announced a 1,000-year-old dragon version, and it's got the wings fully spread, but then it also has an effect piece instead of the gravity beams. It has an effect piece for the sphere ball that it creates, that it hits Godzilla with. And then it's also like the bright, shiny, electrical gold that they keep doing. Every company's been doing with Ghidorah, where one is really flat and then one's super chrome. Except it'd be more like Heisei Ghidorah, where it's still kind of got that sheen to it. And then it'd basically be, this would be your base GMK Ghidorah. And then your 1,000-year-old dragon would be bright like the Heisei special color version, which we haven't had a Heisei Ghidorah this bright since this Ghidorah, so I'm curious to see if we're going to get a darker decisive battle version of this 91 Ghidorah, or if theoretically we're going to get a new yeah, see, a 2.0. You never know. Tamashii's got options. Oh god, now it has been 2 hours. I did tell Larissa it probably won't be 2 hours, but now it definitely has. But yeah, Tamashii's got a lot of options. Okay. But oh yeah, okay. So this I need to get this out, and then I do have to end stream. It's 8 o'clock, so I got to get ready for bed. I go to work in 11 hours, so I got to try to sleep at least 7 of those, 6 of those. Probably won't be 3 hours. No, it definitely won't be. So, but yeah, so like there's a lot of things that they can do, but typically if there's a sacrifice between releases, it's always the releases have to be together somehow. So typically it's a movie or like the same month. So like these 3 right here, the Final Wars Goji to 54 kind of can all set, because this was an announcement set, but these are the monthly release sets. So like, but they typically don't do the sacrifice thing. The sacrifice is that the Movie Graphic Plus line is now a thing, and it's just new paint and no new sculpt and no new accessories, or any accessories returning or new or otherwise. And then the really new figures are only like, it looks like we might only get like 5 or 6 brand new sculpts a year. And then we'll get some, depending on, well, next year probably will actually be a ton of new sculpts, because we should, for solicitation this year, we should get whatever's in -0. We should at least have most of it, at least like, Godzilla, whether the new appearance that's in the trailer, when he pops out of the water, whether that's his base form or if that's a form, he'll have form A and then the new form, and then if there's an enemy kaiju, then it would be the enemy kaiju, and hopefully we would have all three solicitized, or if he does pop out his -1 design first, hopefully they just skip over that, and then they do the new -0 design, and then if there's an enemy kaiju, they just go straight to the kaiju. So those hopefully will be all at least solicitized by the end of the year. And then we have Supernova next year as well, which should at least 60% of the figures that could, 70 or 80% of those figures are probably new sculpts. So without saying too much, most of that actually should be new sculpts. So hopefully, maybe. But we don't know that. Everyone gets sacrificed for Mothra, yeah. But yeah, so like the sacrifices in a year is if they're repaints. So even like the the Junior and Destroya set and like these are mostly the sacrifices of the year because they're mostly just repaints. Obviously, there's a new flight stand included with the Junior set. It's one that's already been available. It just wasn't in the set when it originally released. So it's new to the set, but it is not new for Tamashii. And then the Gotengo is obviously new. And then we have 75 in Odo Island. So, 1, 2, half a set, and another half. So we have 3 if you count these two. 4, 5. So we're already at 5 new sculpts this year, technically. We have 2 halvesies, but these are also repaints as well. So when you do repaints, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 repaints already. And we still have 2 movie graphic releases. And we still have Shin Evo Unit 1 and Kaiser. And I'm going to keep hammering this in. I hope this isn't hope. And this is just how they're going to do it, because this is how -1 was done. Regardless of what happens with -0, regardless if this design comes back or if it's just the new design that's in the teaser, whatever happens, at least a Godzilla -0 will be available the month of the movie dropping. So whether it's the beginning of November, because they sometimes do a Godzilla Day drop, or a late October drop technically as well, or the end of the month of November, should hopefully be this, because we had this for -1. And then we had Poster. Yeah, he came out early for the anniversary. Although, yeah. But yeah, so. Yeah. See what I'm spinning? So, like, -0, in theory, technically could be a new sculpt. So there's 6. We still have Kaiser, and we should still have Kaiser for this year. Although it does sound like Kaiser might not actually release until next year. It sounds like Kaiser might be the first release for 2027, which is a good thing. It's good for budget. I'll say that, because I got to redo my budget sheet, take off the things that I have paid for, and add the new pre-orders in. And then I got to finish I'm starting a collection spreadsheet, which everyone should do. Not an original thought on my end, but everyone should have a collection spreadsheet and kind of have the values of your collection somewhere, just in case. You never know. So I need to grab some dinner. All right. We'll see you later, James. Thanks for hanging out and chatting, man. I always appreciate it. We'll see you next stream. Yeah, so we have Kaiser and Shineva 01. And even if Shineva only has interchangeable hands, and that's it for accessories, I still expect that to be like 160 to 180, unless it's tiny, which is something that we've heard, is that it's actually pretty tiny. So, in a good way. I buy everything on impulse anyways, yeah. So, but yeah, so they, yeah, that Zarab was kind of an impulse buy. Kind of. And the 3.0 Dangerous Pride Vegeta technically also was technically impulse, but and the original 54 from Adam technically also was impulse, but since I had already paid him for something else, we just moved stuff around. So But yeah, so oh yeah, so we do actually have a date for some reveals, and that is May 11th. We know we're supposed to be getting the full details for a brand new Spider-Man, Brand New World, Spider-Man, and Hulk. And then we did get a May 4th teaser for a brand new Anakin from Episode 3. Because every toy company just has to do 1,000 Episode 3 Anakins because nothing else besides Vader and Anakin sells, like that. And I think it's the not best looking one of the ones they've dropped so far. I think it's actually a step back on the face. Oh man, I don't know. I'm not vibing with it, which is fine because I'm not really looking at Star Wars figure arts. I really just want Maul. I want them to make. I'd love for them to really reissue the episode 1 Maul. So that's starting to finally get out of rotation, get expensive. Um, so I'd like that to get a reissue. But yeah, anyways, so there's already 3 figures that are supposed to have details on the 11th. So there is a very good chance that within the next few days we could be seeing some solicitations for more items to be announced on the 11th, or more solicitations for pre-orders for the end of the month are going to start on the 11th. So maybe this month it'll be, May 18th through 22nd, they'll be doing pre-order drops, in Japan. So then the 11th through the 15th or the 16th, we'll be seeing all the new stuff from the new lines. So I don't know which one yet, obviously, because Tamashi's not super predictable. We have a general frame, but like already this year, MonsterArts wise, we're kind of getting maxed out on fucking releases. Like already, we're sitting at officially for the Japanese release schedule 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're at 11. If we look at last year, so we're going by the Japanese release date. So Scar King isn't counted for Japanese release date. It starts with Shimo, right? Shimo ends with Destroy. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 total last year, right? Well, okay. 14 total, and then there's 2 not pictured here because we have the reissue for Final Wars and the reissue for -1. So it's actually 16 releases from MonsterArts as a whole. So we're at 16, and we're already over halfway, almost at the end of the year. We're in the last 3 months for Japanese release dates, October, November, and December. And we have nothing yet. But we also have no Yu-Gi-Oh! Announcements. We have no Monster Hunter announcements. And we always typically at least get at least 1 or 2. Also, it's rumored, it's not confirmed yet, but it is rumored, and we might actually be finding out within the next month or so. There is a rumor that there is going to be another S.H. MonsterArts SDC event exclusive. So, this was the SDC exclusive / second run. This also, because it's an online release, technically this is also a 2026 release because of this. So if I do get this year, this will end up on the list. It probably will be the very bottom unless we have a QC disaster with one of these next releases. This would probably be the bottom. So just gonna say that, not because it's a bad figure, but because it's a reissue, it's a redo with less accessories and more expensive. So, but whatever, if there's one this year, I have no idea who it could be. I don't think they would do like. I still think like a Heat Ray evolved or a minus color Heat Ray Ortho Shin. I don't think they would do that 2 years in a row though, or like a Awakening Ortho Shin would be the other one. They would do one of these weird wacky colorways as the event exclusive, because these go over to Japan now a little bit more commonly. But we can also get a Tamashii Nations exclusive, and that would be revealed in November, an additional event exclusive, and that would be announced in July. So there could be 2 event exclusive announcements around July. So like I said, this, and then we still have -0, and then next year we have Supernova. So like there's the Godzilla line itself is busy, and then we still have Gamera stuff. we technically still have Mothra. We hopefully are getting Rebirth of Mothra stuff. So like, it's just gonna be at the bottom, bro. I'm sorry. Nah, I'm not too worried. I want my GMK MonsterArts. Yeah. So like, there's plenty of holes. So just keep your eyes open. The next couple weeks, maybe it's only gonna be the 3 things that they teased. It could be. Like I said, they've been doing that the last, right before Golden Week they did that. It was theme dropped, and then right before again, it was mostly just reissues that were announced for that first after holiday wave. So I'm going to end the stream. It's been 2 hours. Thank you all so much. You all are wonderful. Thank you all so much for hanging out, chilling on stream, conversating, talking about toys. I am, at the end of the day, still hopeful for this month. I really hope Tamashii kind of just rights some wrongs of the past, and the movie graphic 2014 and the Final Wars Heat Ray versus New Gotengo Godzilla set is both just home runs. We can continue the streak of really good releases, as every company technically really should have. It shouldn't be a hope that we shouldn't run into QC. We should just be like, oh yeah, there's not going to be any QC. So, or there really shouldn't be anything major. So, I'm excited. Hopefully they can right their wrongs, and then we can just hopefully start putting the QC debate to rest finally. And then we can, just bitch about the price. I mean, that would be the main thing. I mean, obviously I'm not going to complain about the price too much, but these are still expensive. So we'll see. Hopefully everyone had a great night. Thank you all for hanging out. Of course, love the streams, hanging out. Yes, this is some of my favorite time. We're gonna trying to get back into streaming. I'm gonna not say that we'll be back to regular streaming quite yet. I want to, Larissa and I are still, tomorrow's her first day alone, so I have to see how that goes first. But if she's on the mend, her and I get back to work, we'll be back. So, and then of course within the next week or two, my movie graphic 1954 will be showing up. The 3.0 Vegeta will be showing up, so we'll have an unboxing reel for the Vegeta. I haven't decided yet. I'll probably make a post. So if you guys look out for a post, I'll see if you guys want live stream for the MonsterArts still, or if you want me to switch to the real, the reels, the real unboxings, as the show is called. I don't know, the series, real unboxings. So, yeah, it's kind of dumb, but if you guys want to see the MonsterArts done like that, I'd be glad to do the MonsterArts like that. But also, like, if people want the MonsterArts to at least be live, then streams always. And that's kind of what I was thinking, that the MonsterArts stuff and the really, well, I don't know, Hyper Zeton was really fun. So the MonsterArts stuff will probably stay as streams, but everything else, for action, for Tamashii products at least, or I do have a Figma on pre-order this month. Besides that stuff, it probably will be just MonsterArts, and Gigantics will be live streams. So when we get the X Plus shins, the gigantic shins, those will be obviously live streams. And I do say plural because they won't get here at the same time. So I would be kind of insane. Hopefully they can make 2014 again, but with his tan underbelly. Maybe. I think this might be the last for 2014, so I don't know. It's still, honestly, it's kind of fucking surprising we're even getting 2014 again at all. I'm a little starstruck. It's still kind of like, I have to remind myself that this is a real thing coming out. So really cool though. I am happy that we're getting another wave. After this, I don't know. But the other one was called Spitfire, so they could make the debate and be like, here's a Heat Ray version, or a Charge Up version, or a Decisive Battle version. So they could. And I would welcome it. I would welcome it. So I would like this a darker 2014, but hopefully the belly is a little bit more prominent on the retail versions. So all right, everyone, thank you all for hanging out, chilling. I really appreciate it. Peace, y'all. Take care. Bye, guys and gals and everyone in between and out of bounds and all that. Love y'all. Take care. I didn't film any reviews today like I was supposed to. So, depending on my work schedule, I don't know when the next video will be. But it is gonna either be Zarab's review or the buff figure arts Goku. So, one of those two. So, be on the lookout for those. I know not super exciting. But I do want to post reviews if I can't get 54 here really quick. So, alright. Bye, guys.